Now, let's look at question 8. They say A, B, C, D is a parallelogram. E and F are point on AB and DC respectively, such that your AE is equals to your CF, right? Now, so what is it that you are going to do now from here? Now they say BF is produced to K and AK is drawn. Now the first question here in 8.1.1, they want you to prove that DJ, right? They want you to prove that this line DJ here is going to be parallel to line what? To line BK. Now, what is it that you are going to do now to try and prove this particular side, right? Now, basically, there are a lot of things that you can use to try and prove that these sides are going to be parallel, right? Now, so what is it that you can do for an example? Firstly, now I can start by using what? I can use my congruency to prove these two sides to be parallel, right? How can I do that? I can say, look, for an example, if I can focus on triangle AED, right? I say in my triangle AED, right? Which basically is going to be this triangle here, right? This triangle here, triangle AE, and also D, right? Let's say I focus on this particular triangle. How can I try and prove that this one, it is going to be congruent to which triangle? To my triangle CFB, which is going to be this triangle, this CFB, right? Which is going to be these two triangles here. Now, how can I go about improving the congruency of these two triangles? So in order for me to prove this triangle, this is triangle R, a BCF or CB or BCF, right? Yes. Now that's going to be a triangle BCF. Now, what is the first thing that I can do from here? I can say, look, my what? My AE on this one, right? My line AE on this other one, right? My AE is equals to what? Is equals to my FC. Obviously, this one is given. As you can see there, it's already stated in the statement that those two lines are equal, right? What else now can I also prove from here? I can say, look, my AD, right? My AD. I can also say, look, my side AD is going to be equals to what? Is going to be equals to my side BC. Remember, this is a parallelogram. So this is going to be your opposite side of a what? Of a palm. Remember, opposite side of a parallelogram, they are equal, right? So that's why we are saying now this side is also going to be close to this side. Now, lastly, what else can I use to prove from here? So I can also use to prove that my angle, let's say here, my angle A1 plus my angle A2 is going to be equal to my angle what? My angle C1 plus my angle C2. What does that mean? Remember, this angle here and this angle, they are what? They are going to be equal. That's good. Because of what? Opposite angles of a palm. Opposite angles of a what? Of a palm. Remember, opposite angles of a parallelogram, they are equal to each other, right? So I've proven three things now. So I can then write my conclusion that therefore triangle what? Triangle AED is going to be congruent to my triangle what? To my triangle BCF. The reason that I'm going to use here, I used the side firstly, I used the side secondly, and I used an angle, right? So basically that is going to be my reason that I am going to use to prove that, right? So what does this mean? So which means basically here, my angle E3, I can start by concluding that my angle E3, now can you see that this angle here is also going to be equals to my angle what? My angle E3 is going to be equals to my angle F3. E3 is going to be cos my angle F3. This is because of what? This is because of congruent triangles. Remember, congruent triangles, it states that all the angles are equal and all the sides are equal, right? And again, what else now can I say from here? I want you to look at something, right? Uh, so if you can look at my angle E3 again, can you see that my angle E3 is going to be equal to what? My angle E3 is going to be equal to my angle D1, right? My angle E3 is also equals to my angle D1. What is the reason behind that? Now my E3 is going to be equals to angle D1 because this is what? This is going to be your alternating angles. Why are these angles alternating? Because remember, we know that AB here is going to be parallel to what? To DC. This is because of what? Opposite side of a parallelogram, right? So therefore, I want you to look at something. Can you see that your angle what now? You have proven this. So can you see that your angle D1, or rather your angle D1, can you see that your angle D1 now is going to be equal to your angle F3 because they are both equal to the same thing, right? Remember, angle F3 is equals to E3 and also angle D1 is equals to E3, right? So both of them are equal to the same thing, right? Now, so as soon as I can say that these angles are going to be equal, can you see that the corresponding angles now are equal in this line, right? Because now if you can remove all these things so that you can see, can you see that all these are going to be corresponding angles, right? So which means now we are saying if this angle here is equal to this angle here, so the corresponding angles are equal, right? So which means therefore my what? My DJ is going to be parallel to what? To my BK. And what is going to be the reason behind that? This is going to be the corresponding angles, what? Corresponding angles are equal altogether. So basically that is going to be the proof for that. Hopefully you can be in a position to follow what I've done here, right? Now let's try and continue and see. Now what else can I do here? Let's see in terms of what else can I do. The last question here, it states that prove that your angle E1 is equals to your angle F1. It wants you to prove that your E1 is equals to your F1. E1 is equals to your F1. What is it that you can do now to prove that? That my E1 is equals to my F1. Let's see. Now, to prove that my E1 is equals to F1, this is going to be almost simple right now, right? Now, to prove that my E1 here is going to be equal to this angle. Let's start here. Now, you are going to say, look, my angle D, or rather, this is my angle D1. Is this D1? Yes, let me just remove that. Yes, my angle D1. Can you see that my angle D1 is going to be equal to my angle E1? This is going to be because of what? Corresponding angles, right? Remember now I've proven that your side DJ is what is parallel to your side what? BK. So I can now use those parallel lines to write to the next question, right? Now, I am saying this angle here correspond with your D1. Now, again, I can also say that and my what? My angle D1 also. My angle D1 also alternate with my angle F1. Can you see that they are going to be alternating angles because of what? Because of DJ being parallel to BK. Can you see that? They form a Z here, starting from here. You see, starting from here, you come here, and then you come back this route. Can you see that these angles form a Z here, right? So which means they are alternating angles. So which means now I can just draw up my conclusion that look now, my angle E1 therefore is going to be equal to my angle F1. Do I even need a reason? No, because both of them are equals to angle D1. Okay. So basically that is going to be a reason behind that. Hopefully this makes sense to you now. Let's look at the last question. In this question, they say in the diagram below, always the center of the circle AB lies on what? On the circumference of the circle. AP is equals to what? Is equals to your BP. Now, what is it that you're going to do now in here? The first question, it wants you to prove that your AT, right? It wants you to prove that your AT here is going to be equals to what? Is going to be equals to your BT. Now, how can we go about improving that? Right now there are a lot of things that you can use to prove that, but let's see in terms of, can't we not have an easier way of proving this, right? An easier way would be, look, if you can start here, if you can say, look, my AP, can you see that my AP is equals to my BP, right? My AP is equals to my BP. This one, it is what? It is given, right? This one is given, right? And also, what is it that you are going to do? If you can say your OA, yeah, right? Your OA is going to be equals to your OP. Now, what is this? Because remember, this is a line drawn from the center to the circumference of the circle. This is your radius, and this is also again line from the center to the circumference of your circle. This is radius, right? And when you are having two of them, we call these now your radii or your radii, right? Which is the plural of them, right? So the reason why we are saying these ones are going to be equal, it's because what? Both of them are lines from center to the circumference of your circle. Now, from here, I want you to look at something. Can you see that now? Since your line AP, this one is equals to this one, and this one is equals to this one, I want you to take note that, can you see that your APBO, that your APBO is going to what? Is a kite. Can you see now that this is going to be a kite? Why am I saying this is a kite, right? Remember the reason of a kite, we are having what? Two adjacent sides which are going to be equal. Two adjacent adjacent side are equal, right? This AP is equals to BP, and also AO is equals to your BO, right? So given that, then this is going to be your kite. And now what is it that we know about a kite? We know that in your kite, your diagonals, right? Your diagonals AT is going to be close to BT, because diagonal are one pair of diagonals of a kite. They do what? They bisect each other. Are we together? So you're going to say one diagonal. This is one diagonal of a kite, bisect each other. Bisect of the kite bisect altogether. So basically that's that, which means now if this is a kite, then these are going to be equal to each other. Are we together? So that's going to be taken from the properties of what? This can be taken from properties of a kite. Hopefully now this makes sense to you now. Let's look at the last one. Now they say why is OTA? OTA, right? OTA, basically this particular angle T1 is equals to 90 degrees. Your angle OTA is going to be 90 degrees because of what? Of properties of a kite. Remember that the diagonals of a kite meet at 90 degrees, right? So we are saying your OTA is going to be equals to 90 degrees because of what? Because of properties of a kite, right? Because of properties of a kite, right? Remember that the properties of a kite state that all the diagonals here, they are going to meet each other at what? At 90 degrees altogether. So basically, that's the reason why all of this is that, right? Hopefully now all these questions make sense to you now, and you're in a position to answer all the questions that might follow. Thank you very much.